Wireless connection. Oh, hey, there I am. Good morning, everybody. This is Charlotte, and it's the Profitable Farm Facebook group. And welcome. It's Friday morning, and I'm just chatting for a minute here while people jump on live. And I hope my Wi-Fi connection is strong enough. Yeah, we're going to check our Wi-Fi here to make sure, but if it goes out for a second, hang on, we'll be right back. So today I am talking about your ideal customer. And the reason I want to talk about this is I gave a webinar, 2 webinars this week. Probably 700 people got this training, and it was really well received. It was very informative. So if we do another one in the future, it would be great if you'd make sure you sign up to receive it, because it was great. And several people on the webinar were not stuck. I don't want to use the word stuck, but they wanted to gloss over the ideal customer. Hey, Chrissy. And also, if you're out there watching, click like. Would love to see you click like on this video. That way I know you're out there. So the ideal customer, what it is it's that one person, that one customer you have that you really love and you wish all of your customers were like her or him, whatever it is, you need to decide. Also, your ideal customer, you need to know certain things, like is it a man or is it a woman? Because this makes a difference when you write your marketing materials, when you design your website, when you make your signage for anything, your store, your farmer's market, whatever it is you're doing, you must identify your ideal customer first. If you are not getting sales, if you're not profitable, if business is slow and your marketing materials don't net you, thousands of dollars or at least hundreds of dollars in income, it's because you have not yet identified and fine-tuned your ideal customer. So some things you want to know are, and I talked about this on the webinar, and I just want to go a little bit deeper here this morning and emphasize how important this is. The rest of your marketing will not work if you have not identified your ideal customer and who it is you're talking to. All right, so I've said that like 3 times now, but so many people get stopped up and they want to gloss over that. You can't. Everything else you do will be ineffective in marketing if you don't know who your ideal customer is. So you want to know, is it a man or woman? What are her beliefs? What does she believe? Where does she shop? And I'll just say she because my ideal customer is a woman. What does she use your product for? I mean, if she's buying meat, she's not just getting dinner on the table. There's a reason she's buying your meat. Why is she buying your meat and not the neighbor's? What does she do in her free time? What experts does she listen to on the internet? So if I know where my ideal customer is getting her information, what experts she's listening to, I can quote those experts in my marketing materials, and then it'll gel with her. She will be receptive to it. So these are some reasons why you need to know those things. So what else would it be beneficial to know? Anyway, I have probably 3 pages of information that I find out about my ideal customer. Then when I'm writing my letter or my marketing email, my a blog post, and then a marketing email to introduce that blog post, I am talking to my ideal customer. I don't anymore, but the first 3 years I was doing this, I had a description of my ideal customer taped to my computer on a little Post-it note. And when I wrote my marketing materials, whatever it was, advertisements for, whatever we're doing right then. And I mean, when I say advertisement, I really mean like a blog post, because we don't do ads. They don't work. They won't work for you either. I would have that next to the computer and make sure that when I was writing my marketing email, I am talking to that very specific person. So now I'm sure you're wondering, well, I have men and women both who buy our products. And yes, I'm sure you do. We all do. It's very important you still choose one and speak to one. And I said this quote in the training earlier in the week on Wednesday, that in the particular is the universal. And that's by James Joyce. And if you're thinking, what the heck is she talking about? in the particular, when you get very, very, very narrow, you have far more universal appeal. All right. So, and this is, again, I'm going to say this is a stumbling block that most farmers I work with want to gloss over. They're like, I know who my ideal customer is. Let's move on. The rest of what you do will not be successful until you have identified thoroughly and deeply your ideal customer. So I explained this to somebody this way. See if this works for you. It's as if you're writing a letter, and you can write a letter, which I see so many farmers want to generalize because they want to sell to everybody, because they think, well, everybody's my customer because everybody eats food, or, I sell chickens, so everyone who buys little baby chicks would be my customer potentially, so that's who I'm talking to everyone. So if you wrote a letter to everyone, it would say, "Dear everyone, hey there, farm life is going well. It's rainy this week. There's some mud. The chicks are going to be ready soon, and hopefully you'll make it out to the farm and buy some." That's a very general letter because you don't want to offend anyone. Now what's going to happen is when you identify who your ideal customer is and say she's a woman and she's 40 years old and she wants chickens for her backyard and she has a couple kids and they're going to start a little egg business. So maybe that's your ideal customer, and her name is, you call her Jennifer. And so then this letter, instead of "Dear everyone" and very generic, would be, "Dear Jennifer, this week it's been so muddy on the farm and the baby chicks were born and they're the most adorable things. And my kids are running out there every day and holding them. We can't wait to have you out to the farm next week to pick up your order. You're going to love these little things. They chirp all over the place. Your kids are going to love them. And they're going to have so much fun raising them. They will lay beautiful eggs, and you'll watch your kids thrive, and they're going to learn confidence." And so you're writing this person this very specific letter. Now contrast the letter I just said, like the "Dear Jennifer" letter, to the "Dear everyone" letter, "Our chicks are ready." And which one would you rather listen to, or which one were you most drawn to? So, and obviously there's a right answer, and you're most drawn to the letter that is written to one very specific person. So you got very specific, very particular, and in that particular is where you will have the universal appeal. Everybody will be drawn to that very specific letter you wrote to your ideal customer named Jennifer. Nobody or very few people will be drawn to the letter you wrote to "Dear everyone." So is this making sense? And hey, Jordan, if you have some questions, feel free to write them in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on going a little bit. There was, because I want to show you how this doesn't work in your marketing if you don't have your ideal customer identified. So if there was a comment a couple days ago, yesterday maybe, in the Facebook group right here, and I think Emily was sending out an email to 650 people. Half of them opened, but she didn't get the sales she needed, and people were encouraging her, "Oh, you just need to go find more customers. You've got to get a bigger list." And I said, hold up. If your current list, if your current email you send out is not resulting in sales, it does not mean you need to go find more people. You need to go backwards and identify who it is you're writing to, because her email did not connect with her list because she does not know enough about the people on that list. So this is feedback for everybody. Everybody needs to know this. When you send out a blog post, an email, or you have a sign at your farmer's market and people are not flocking to that sign, it's because you have not accurately identified who your ideal customer is. You need to do that first before anything else works. Okay, so I feel like I'm preaching a little bit here and I don't want to preach. Is this making sense to you? Because people on the webinar were like, okay, sorry, I had a little blip there. I had a phone call. So people on the webinar were saying, "Oh my gosh, I finally get what that means." So hopefully you're getting clear on this. You've got to find out a lot of information about your ideal customer. A couple things to know. Your ideal customer will change over time. I updated my ideal customer. I identified it, and then a month later I was like, no, she's this. So as I get more information, I fine tune who my ideal customer is, and you will too. Then I would probably update my ideal customer every 6 months. Now I make sure, you know, like once a year, I make sure my ideal customer is updated. You'll be amazed at how wonderful this works. Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate that. So I just want to make sure you guys are getting it, because some people have a really hard time getting why they should write an email to one person. But when you send out an email blast to 600 people and that email is written to one person, whoops, sorry, I got a voicemail, close that. You will connect with and engage far more people than when you just write a generic newsletter to everybody. So that would be my insight for you, and hopefully you'll start identifying your ideal customer more, because this will hold you up and if you don't. We probably spend, and you guys know I released my course this week. We have a limited space. Registration closes Tuesday. The first week we probably spend 5 hours on you identifying your ideal customer. And then you have the skills to continue doing that in the future as they grow and change. But again, you start with just one person, a man or woman. I've had people say, well, we sell these 5 different products. We sell to men and women, and we sell to families. Therefore, I need like 8 different ideal customers. That won't work. Start with one. Maybe, see, my business has evolved over the years. I still have one ideal customer for both businesses, the farm and the marketing course. They're both women. And if I don't speak to that woman when I'm writing my email, they aren't engaging. And even men, you know, you may think, well, then men aren't going to read your emails. Guess what? We get men all the time in our store who say, I love your website. I love your emails you send out. I can't wait to read them. So it works. And again, it's because you've got a very narrow focus, and it makes what you're doing far more interesting. All right, let me look at my notes. Any questions on any of this? So again, we've got a course too. If you have any questions on our course that is running starting next Wednesday, and you can take it at any time. You have to sign up by Tuesday night, but you don't have to be there Wednesday. It's all videos and worksheets and webinars and things, so you can be there anytime. And let me see. I think I've covered everything. So how are we doing on time? Is it 15 minutes? Good. I'm really trying to keep these videos shorter because no one has time to watch a 30-minute video. All right. Does anyone have any questions on this? Otherwise,
I think talk about 3-count marketing changing.
So one thing I'm going to reveal here is that because this happens to me personally recently, because this group, the Profitable Farm and my 3-count marketing, my ideal customer has always been a woman. But men take my courses. But women have a way with communication, and the things I talk about speak to women more, so they respond better. And this came up this week when I've got 700 people watching a training, and I realized that, I really need to gear it towards women. Men are welcome here, but women connect with this more. And I was afraid to do that. And, here I am. I've been doing this for 7 years in the business, and 4 or 5 years marketing this way. And I was afraid in my marketing business right here to say my ideal customer is a woman. I was afraid to say that out loud, but it causes problems when I don't. So men will get stuff out of my marketing course, but I am making sure going forward that I practice what I preach. My ideal customer is a woman. And yeah, Jordan, that's great. It's true. 80% of Jordan's customers are women. And, we sell food, many of us. And so typically the women are the ones buying the food for the family. And yes, 80% is probably about like us. We do have men who come in, and often it's like the wives send their husbands to pick up their order at our store. So they wouldn't normally be there. But yeah, it's about the 80-20 rule. But figure out, and then you're speaking to women. Men will still be attracted to it, but you're talking to the women. All right, Chrissy says, should we split email lists into groups to be more personalized? Farmers market people, milk only people, herd share people who I deliver to who never visit the market or farm, etc. What we do is we have one general list for our farm where I talk about milk, during that season. I talk about eggs during that season and meat. People love, even if someone is just a milk customer, they love getting all those emails. So Chrissy, I would say start out big. Do not start out narrow with 3 or 4 different lists, or you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to keep up on what you said to whom. Start out with one general list. And then we also have milk customers who need some very practical how-tos that I would never send out to a blog post to, 1,300 people on our list. That's just our 100 milk customers need that stuff. So you can do, what was that app that, there's a Google app called, it's in Shauna's email. There's something in Google where you can have a small group for like your milk customers, but your general marketing email list should be everybody on there. What? GMass.
Only works with Chrome.
Okay, Chrome is, and Chrome is the browser. So if you have a Chrome browser, there's something called GMass, the letter G, M-A-S-S, and you can do a group to a smaller, to just the herd share people. But it's okay to have people that come to the farmer's market but don't ever come to the farm store, and you're talking to them all in a general email, although you're very specific in that. And then have a small group of just, for instance, your herd share people that you deliver to, but start out broad with everybody on one list, because when you write a very narrowly focused email, all those people are going to love it. All right. And you don't want to be writing 4 different marketing emails. That would drive you crazy. And we're trying to get ease and efficiency here. So if you have any more questions, let me know. And Chrissy, does that help you? Start with one, start easy, start simple, one list. But there are groups of people we talk with individually. Like if I have 10 people who ordered a beef share this month, those 10 people are going to get individual emails about things that the whole group would not get. So, okay, good, Chrissy. Thank you. All right, then. Well, if there's no more questions, I'm going to get... Oh, yeah. So, and any more questions about the course, too, because registration for that closes Tuesday. You'll get... the how-tos on so many things for your marketing. We have limited space, and the registration closing Tuesday is a sharp cutoff. I often get people asking the next day, oh, can I still sign up? I needed to think about it, and we close it then because we start the very next day. Sarah Smith, thank you. Sarah, one of my best friends growing up was my cousin named Sarah Smith. So whenever I see your name, I always think of her and growing up, because we were like really close. So it's like, oh, Sarah. She spelt it the same way too. So thank you, everyone.
It's recorded, the course.
Oh yes, and the course is recorded. That's what we keep getting emails of people saying if I can't be there live. The course is on videos. They're training videos. There's 3 or 4 training videos released each week, and they have downloads. So this is all done at the time you want to do it. It's not, I don't set a time and you have to show up live for the course. It's all housed online, and you have access to it for lifetime. You can log in anytime, and you get to retake it for free every time I offer it. So I'll probably offer it once more before our big marketing course, once more in the next few months. But otherwise, Beverly, thank you, Charlotte. We're looking forward to your course. Thank you, Beverly. I can't wait to see you there. And it's just going to take you, we coach you through it. You get so much one-on-one coaching through this, through the different groups and comments and all that. So you're going to get a lot out of it. Thanks, Beverly, for saying that. And I will talk to you all. If you're in the course, I'll talk to you Wednesday. Facebook Live, I'll try to do next Friday. I might wait and do it Saturday, because that's when I'm interviewing Joel Soliton, and we have a sit-down next weekend. And so maybe I'll try to do a live video from the ranch. We're at Pacines Ranch in California for the Holistic Management Institute gathering. So that would be fun. Maybe I could get Joel on our live Facebook group to say hi to you guys. but that's on Saturday, so maybe we can make that work. Otherwise, everybody have a super great weekend. Ask any questions you want. You can post here and I'll answer them, or post them in the Facebook group and I'll address them on future videos. All right, take care everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.